Well, the physical presentation's absolutely fantastic out the Keenan. You know, every single ingredient's mixed right through. The chop length that we've got is perfect for the animal. Every single mouthful the animal gets in a part of the diet.
We're feeding for 3 days now. We're now adding straw into their diet, so their dung on average is firmer, so there's not the requirement to bed them quite as often.
We couldn't feed this amount of cattle with the old system with a two-wheel barrow.
Cattle that we used to sell before as forward stores, we thought we'll just keep them an extra month and they'll be about spot on for finishing.
The ration's just, you know, same texture, same consistency all the time. Like, it's got the mechanical fibre thing, I don't know, just it's open and it's fluffy and it's good, like, you know, it is good.
The feeding regime we had before this was what I call traditional barley beef. It took us at least 3 weeks to get them onto that ration, so we went onto the Keenan system, and the biggest gain of all, I think, in that respect, is that they're on the feed from day one.
The two main things the Keenan system has done for us, without a shadow of a doubt, is that getting the cows straight onto the finishing diet when they come safely, and reduction in days of purchase to slaughter.
We bought our first machine and it came home when we only had 50 cows, and at that point we said, oh, we'll never be able to justify it, but we reckon we were justifying it in the first year.
And you see cattle coming through Dingwall and they're 25, 27 month old, and they've had them for 7 months longer than we've had. And I don't care what you put the price of feed at, you can put it at £1 a day or 50 pence a day, whatever you want to charge your feed at. But for 6 months, that's 180 days. That's a lot of money.
We're probably sitting about 17, 18 months to target slaughter weight, and that's ideal for us, because we don't want it too young and we don't want it too old, because if it's too old it's going to cost us more money to produce.
If it's costing us roughly £1.30 a day to feed these cows, so if we can save 10 days per cow, over 1,500 cows a year, it's quite a big saving.
Well, steers are averaging about 1.46 kilos a day, live weight again a day. And as I say, it's not the ration that's changed, it's just the presentation of it that's changed. It's made them eat the weight slightly less, and they've gained that bit, 0.2 of a kilo more. It's relating to, at the moment, probably somewhere in the 65, 70 pounds a head bracket.
We used to think we were on a figure of 1.2, and now we're on 1.4 daily live weight gain a day.
We're finding that we're getting a more consistent feed. We can incorporate the straw, and we're finding that they're calving down better. We're calving cows to share the bulls, and we're finding it's consistently working pretty well. Like, we've been able to incorporate as much straw just pre-calving as possible. Like, you know.
Well, we know that we improved straight away when we first started using the Keenan. Now we could identify straight away that we were feeding about 2 kilos of concentrate too much and about 1 kilo of straw too little. And by doing that, we actually saved ourselves about 30 or 40 pence.
Well, the fertility has improved in the cows because they're getting a better balanced ration. It's really quite simple. You give the cow what she needs to perform and she'll perform.
We're basically been averaging the mid 390 kilo mark for bulls that are averaging something like 14.5 months old, which is approximately 30 kilos to 32 kilos more than they were a year ago. It's about 85 pounds or thereabouts.
It's not just a case of producing a kilo of beef that we're after. It's producing a kilo of beef that the customer wants to eat time and time again. It's repeat business that we are looking for, not just kilo gain.
It's the same cattle we're buying with this system as we were with our old system, and their performance is a lot better, so it can only really be down to the machine.
The consistency, going back to the whole thing, it's the consistency of actual diet in front of the animals that we're finding has more benefit from. You know, the animals are getting the same day and daily, like, and with the old wagon it was a sort of hit or miss a wee bit.
The practical aspects of it are that it's going to give you a fantastic feed out. The animals are going to enjoy it, and the animals are going to be happy, and I think there's a lot to be said for that.